Hello everyone, and welcome back to our Kodomo-Hi tutorial series in Nomad Sculpt. This is part 5 of our series, and today we're going to be covering how to make this door that we see here. I've already gone ahead and I've made everything in advance so that we could see what this door is going to look like in the end. We're going to be using some fairly simple techniques and shapes. And again, we'll be leaning on some of the stuff that we've been doing previously by stealing some of the textures and some of the settings that we have from other parts of the project. If for some reason you've stumbled across this video and it's your first time watching part of the series, I encourage you to go back to part 1 of the series and follow along step by step. Just in case you have trouble following along with these particular steps, because some of the resources are linked in the other videos. All right, with that disclaimer out of the way, we're going to be covering how to make this door fit within the Yakiimo shop. And we're going to be using mostly the cube tool. This thing is made actually almost exclusively of cube, and we'll just apply a few textures. This should be a quick little tutorial, so it shouldn't take too long to cover everything that needs to happen. But basically, we'll be adding a cube for the door frame. Then we'll be carving out some space in that door frame. Then we're going to add in the 2 or 3 boxes that we need to complete the window, and then we're going to add in a small array to the bottom so that we can add that wood paneling that you see here. All right, well, with that out of the way, we'll do what we always do and go ahead and save where we're at with this project. So we're going to hit Save As, we'll hit New, we'll start a new project, and now we can go through and get rid of our door and start making it from scratch. All right, so we do need to see the rest of our shop so that we can get this into the correct position. Oops, it looks like we left the door handle. We'll go ahead and get rid of that one. Apparently that was in the wrong group. All right, so first things first, let's go ahead and add our cube that's going to represent the door frame, and we'll fit it in here. If you're in this right-hand view, we'll switch to this right-hand view so that we can see the side of our shop. You're going to have this grid pop up if you have it turned on. And this grid is going to have some snapping that you can snap some of the geometry to as you're adding it into the scene. And I'll kind of show you the impact that has. If for some reason you missed some of that in the previous tutorial series, you'll see the impact that has in this one at least. We're going to go ahead and add a box. We click up here to our objects. We add, and then we add a box to our scene. We do need to move this box into its own separate space, and then we're going to add a group to that. You'll see that the box is nested inside the group, and we'll go ahead and rename this group to door. That way we know what we're doing. We can pack all this information into this group, and we don't have to worry about things getting lost while we're adding it to our scene, and we don't have to label every single little thing that we're adding. All right, let's go ahead and move this. Let's just center it. And then we're going to switch from the gizmo tool. We're going to switch to this editing tool. We're going to pull this up to the door frame. We'll turn our grid on, and you'll notice that adds some snapping. That snapping may be useful. It may not be useful. In this case, it happened to be pretty handy. Sometimes the snapping can cause your object to snap further than it should for whatever you're doing, but in this case, it happened to work out for us. If it does snap further, you can either turn off snapping and just manually adjust it, to your kind of eyeball it. Or you could leave it on and zoom in closer. I've noticed that as more grid lines appear, you get more snapping options, and that can help you line things up. All right, so we've switched here to our front view from the right view so that we can start lining up the door with the door frame. And what we'll do is we'll use our gizmo tool, and we're going to pull on this red arrow to bring it out towards that door frame area. We do need to turn on X-ray so that we can kind of see through everything, all the other geometry. And we're going to turn it slightly to the side so that we can see how this door is fitting inside the current geometry. As we can see, the door is a little bit bigger or a little bit oversized, but that's not a big problem. We just need to get it roughly in place, about centered, and then we'll switch back to our sizing. And then here we notice that the door in our reference image is sunken in a bit to the frame of the Yaki Imo shop. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull this back so that we can try and get the same or very similar effect. If we click that front view, we can get us a good side-on of what we're building here, and then we can snap it to the grid if we like. These new Apple pencils have a tendency to be a little finicky. I'm going to put emphasis on the view of the outside, so I'm going to sink it in a little bit more to make sure that the geometry matches that, and have that take precedence over how it looks on the inside of the shop. And we'll have the door sit a little more flush with the inside of the shop. Okay, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and see if we can't get this geometry for the door a little bit closer to the actual size of the door frame. For now, we'll make it a little bit bigger. If we need to adjust it later, it's not a big deal. But yeah, we'll just keep it just a touch bigger than the actual frame of the door. We'll switch to our right view. Again, the frame, we're quite a bit larger than the frame. So we're going to bring this in. It might be hard to see, but the door frame for my X-ray is about right there, and it's just inside the door that we're making. Okay, and we don't need to spend too much more time on this. What we'll go ahead and do, we'll hit validate. We're going to voxel remesh this to around 300, 350. What we need to do now is we're going to go ahead and I'm going to turn off X-ray so that we can see the frame of the door in there easily. And then we need to use trim, and we're going to use the rectangle trim. We're going to turn on auto validate. We're going to keep square and centered off because that can be a little bit annoying. Actually, you know what? Let's try it just for fun. We'll do local symmetry. We're going to show, we need XYZ. Symmetry is going to be turned off. We're on that box of the door. Make sure we're in local, show line, and then symmetry is off. And then we need this rectangle. I thought I turned on centering. This rectangle to take up about 2/3 of the door. Actually, that looks really good. All right. And so with our trim tool, using this rectangle, we're able to trim away quickly the area of the door that we need. So about right here. Like that. Nice. Okay. Then we're going to turn off our trim tool. What we need to do next is we need to add another box. And this box is going to be the window. We'll go ahead and go to our right-hand view. We'll switch to off our gizmo to our edit tool. We'll turn on X-ray so that we can see through the door and everything else. We're going to make this quite a bit smaller and quite a bit thinner than what the geometry that we had before. Make sure it's centered in the door. And then we'll come back out here. We can make this a little bit larger because it'll sink into the geometry of the door frame. Just like that. And we'll double check that it is resting inside that. And it is. That looks pretty good. We might make it just a touch thinner just because we need the framing to be... we need this framing to be thicker, but also not so thick that it's thicker than the frame of the door. And that needs to be in contrast to the window that we're adding. All right, we'll validate that. We'll go ahead and check the voxel count. That looks good. And then all we need to do now, come in here, eyedrop, and we're gonna grab that blue color. Go for a light blue. And then we'll go ahead and paint all. We'll lighten it up a little bit more. And that should be fine. We'll turn off our X-ray and kind of have a look at how it looks now. I see I still have opacity on, so we'll turn that off. Okay. That looks pretty good. And now all we got to do is add in the couple bits of frame. So we'll come in, we'll click add, click a box. We're going to stretch this up and down. We'll go into our proper right-hand view. Yeah, something like that. We'll switch to our right-hand view, go to X-ray, and we just need to make this just a touch smaller than the actual door frame. Okay, and then we'll validate that. And the quickest way to do the other part is just clone it. We'll turn on snapping at 90 degrees, and then we'll flip it like that. And then we'll just do an X-ray, and we'll just make sure that it's not too big. And then the last thing, we'll add in that small array of panels down here. So let's go ahead and click add, box, add, array. And let's go ahead and move that down here. We want it about center. We'll modify this box by pulling this up and that down. And the panels are about that thick. And we just need to shrink that down to about there. And then we'll make sure the other side is good. I keep grabbing the wrong dot. Okay, yeah, that one. There we go. We'll make sure that that's sunk in a little bit more. Like that. All right. And then we're going to adjust the array. Right now, the array is traveling in the red direction. We need to travel in the green direction. So we're going to turn our count X down to 1 and our count Y up until we get that right there. That looks pretty good. And then we're going to shrink these together like that. And validate. And then I'm going to actually instance these at first. And then we're going to do all of our texturing and all that fun stuff real quick. So to grab our texturing, we're just going to cheat. We're going to steal some of the texturing that we've done for these other wood panels. So we have that entry that has a bunch of box panels that we can steal. Let's see here. We'll just find the right one. We need this one. We'll come in here to this materials panel and we're going to copy that material and then we're going to paste it. We're going to paste it onto our door item. So we need to paste it on there. Maybe that one, that one, that one, that one. And then I believe this is the window. No? Yeah, it is. Okay. So these and this one. Actually, let's validate that. That way we can apply it easily. Okay, we're going to select these and then we're going to paste in that texturing. And then as you can see here, we've got our wood panel texturing on there now. And that's fine. I believe yeah, it's not too important, but as we can see on one of these, like the door frame itself, that panel needs to be shifted and it needs to be rotated. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and rotate this 90 degrees-ish. There. And then this one as well. There we go. And now our grain is traveling with the wood. Or at least the way it might normally be on a wood frame. Okay. And then we just need to go into our paint tool. We have some history on the colors that we've used. Again, if you're kind of jumping in the middle of this, you could just eyedrop from the reference image. The reference image is provided in one of the other tutorials. I'll try and include it in this one as well. That way it's easier to get to. But yeah, we're just going to go in and grab a wood color that we think matches everything else that we've been doing. I think it's that color. We'll hit paint all. Maybe it's that one. No. Forgive me. I'll get it eventually. Let's see here. Is it this color? Wow. Okay. We'll just steal it from there. We're going to do that one, that one, that one, and one of these. And hit paint all. There we go. That's good. That's the color we're looking for. Okay. All right. That door is officially finished. We don't really need to do much else to it. All right. So I'll go ahead and I'll make our scene look nice. So I'll go ahead and get rid of our reference image and we'll do a nice rotation view of what this looks like now. All right. So hopefully you're enjoying the series so far and hopefully you learned one or two tricks from what we're doing in the tutorial today. We basically just covered some quick texturing and how you can layer things within or layer objects on top of each other or within each other to create kind of like one larger object. And we went over that trim tool. That trim tool is super useful. It's super powerful and it can do a lot of damage. So you just want to be careful while you're using it and making sure that you don't have anything selected while you're using the trim tool that you don't intend to actually trim, because it can cut away at things if you're not paying too much attention and do some damage to your projects. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed that tutorial, and if you can, hit the like button and please subscribe to our channel if you'd like to get updates on anytime we upload a new tutorial. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.